Hello everyone. Thank you for joining us for our third April Advocacy webinar titled Let TAN Help You Connect. With us on this webinar today is Marty Henschel and Madeleine Nagy, and we appreciate both of them for being part of this webinar. We're going to start out with explaining just a little bit about why it's important, and explain how you can use the network to connect with your legislators. So first, the Title Action Network is about a little over a year old now, affiliated with the American Land Title Association. To be a network, you do not have to be a member of the folks aren't very clear. You, in fact, don't have to be an ALTA member in order to be a TAN member. The Title Action Network is the premier grassroots network for the land title industry. We work very hard through the network to provide a voice and enthusiasm and energy for the industry, both on KC but also in state capitals all around the country. TAN is to join for members, again, whether you're an ALTA member or not, and it only takes about 90 seconds. www.titleactionnetwork.com. We log up your email. We are not one of those organizations that spam alerts and things like that. We'll only be contacting you if your message we have is important enough for you to know about. And the action steps will be outlined. We also, on any action alerts that we do, it's extremely easy to understand and very clearly outline how it affects you. Like I said, we want the Title Action Network. It's a useful tool for our members, both for legislation and regulation. And so we work very hard at really massaging the content of these messages. While maybe you've not heard of this issue before in your state or at the federal level, this alert, you're able to understand what we're asking you to take part of. Once you become a member, what that looks like. How do you actually use TAN? So once you're logged into the Title Action TitleActionNetwork.com page, it's on your screen now. See, there's a red box on the right-hand side of the page that says Take Action. And when you click on that box, you'll be taken to various action alerts that are open at this time for you, whether that's on the federal level or the state level, they'll be there. But additionally, on the home page, there's also other options. Tell a friend about the Title Action Network. There's a link, Title Industry Political Action Committee. There's contact if you're aware of a member of Congress or the actions that you've taken through the Title Action Network have state or federally and how that's impacted your business. Great link to our TAN partners page. We currently have partners. That list is available there at Title Action. And in addition to that, we also have several Title Action folks throughout the title industry to our organization in terms of membership and recruitment, education, and so that's a very useful home page. I hope that everybody on this call is very. So then, like I said, once you log in, if you go to that red box, you will have, currently on this example, there's one that we actually did for the state of Colorado. And here they would be listed. If they are listed as a hot topic, is likely a deadline for this alert. Some alerts, for example, we did an alert for the federal issue on 1031 exchanges because they had over a week to respond to that, whereas we had a few state alerts that were out of this. Maybe only had 24. So we always will email you when there's an alert that you need to take part in, but you can log in at any time and go to that Take Action page to see if there are any active alerts for you. So once you click on the alert and you want to take action in that, there will be information available what exactly you need to do. Some alerts you'll be able to draft an email or a letter. Alerts, if it's a state associations may have pre-drafted language, sort of a form letter that they would like you to add your name and information to and then press send. Some states may have the letter that are mandatory, and then they want you to add your own information. With Colorado here, there is a letter is pre-drafted, but then you can add your own information so to make it a more personal letter so that the legislators really. And then at the very bottom, communication, this communication, because we only had about 20, was email only. That way we were sure the representative. But there are also phone options with phone. Then you'll be able to print out talking points on an issue so that you can easily call your legislators. It will show you their talking points on the issue at hand so that you can be very clear and concise when you're talking to your regulator's office. But then there's also for you to be able to say, for you to print out your letter where you need to send it to. All of those will be down there. And we try to make that as easy as possible for folks. And next, Madeleine is going to talk about in your state and how it operates throughout your state.
Thank you very much, Wayne. One of the things that, again, stress is that this is an individual, so, you know, the more individuals that within each state that sign up for the title action, your network will be within your encouraging company campaigns, your land title association campaign will make sure that you have a much voice as you are developing and doing your advocacy on your agenda. Creating company campaigns is a critical part in the equation. Wayne and I are definitely available to assist you in any step in the process, be educating, you know, your company and your employees. TAN is around what it is can help the industry as a whole. The other important thing that you really want to keep within your state is you don't want yours just to be a database. Sure that you are educating them and pushing out materials so they feel as though they're an active part of the industry. And some states do potentially on a weekly basis or on a monthly basis. Some can push out education, some hot topic action alerts that might be coming down the pipeline. And then, of course, when those are around, they are more educated and more prone to are already educated on the issue because of the groundwork that you've laid, and you have a much easier time of getting legislators or to respond email alerts that we send out through TAN. We work with each state to make sure that they, again, are, you know, directly to the point that they have needed for your members to respond and to understand what the members are asking of them. Next, to introduce Marty, who's going to talk about, does the action alerts actually help?
Hi, I happen to be Title Association this year, so I'm mostly talking from our perspective, but association, we've recognized the need for communicating with the state legislators for quite a period of time. We have test committee hearings on industry issues and stuff, but we've generally been seen as just a resource type issues relating to the real estate industry. One of our key contacts up there happened to be the chair of the Commerce Committee, which was really helpful because we kind of had an involved if there was real estate related issues up there, we would be asked to appear and testify. So that was really helpful. But she actually passed away a couple of years ago. We increased our awareness of the need to have relationships up, have our voice heard. About a year ago, we created called the MLTA, or Minnesota Land Title Association Day at the Capitol. Had our first 2012, so last February, after the ALTA's federal conference, provide opportunity for members who attend to meet with representatives and or staff people, etc. Long intro here, but the way it integrates with TAN, because this year, well, actually right before the MLTA hosted a meet and raiser with the chairs of the House Commerce Committee and the Senate. And those are the two committees the real estate generally comes through. Shortly after that, his budget that included the imposition on business to business been a really problematic, and so the MLTA secretary has sent out a call to action and communicated with Maddy and or Wayne. I forget exactly how the communication went, but they sent out the TAN call to action to members at a, which was really great because following right after our meeting, call to action, and we got numerous people from our immediately communicating with their state representative, state senator, and governor. And it's really slick the way that call to action worked, because when I go log in and to respond, remember who my senator is or who my state representative is, I don't have to go looking them up on the internet and figure out how to email them. It's all right, really easy. And I believe in this one we had the opportunity to modify the language exactly as it was. But what I like about it, we have numerous members in our staff, and I can't always take the time to explain in detail they should be using, but they're with their call to action. And beyond my company, I mean the whole state, it provided us an opportunity to have that unified, energized voice. I wish I could take the credit for getting the shot down, but I think multiple industries were screaming at the same time about it, but it did go away, and it felt good to at least participating in the voices of the business to the legislators about not allowing, and that call to action created, it really did, I mean, it lined up right with the PowerPoint slide there. It did create a dialogue because that happened, I think, in late January, and our MLTA Day at the Capitol this year was on President's Day. And so to the Capitol, and we met with our legislators and their senators and rep. We could remind them that we sent them letters here recently on an issue, and a resource for real estate related issues, and again had an opportunity to create that dialogue that serve us well in the future as stuff comes like or don't like and want to state our position on. I don't know what else. That's the main example from Minnesota. I think it was this call to action, but when the call to action went out last year, federal level, we responses from Minnesota members of TAN, and we were internally here, my office, I made sure that I got as many members of TAN possible to be sending out some kind of letter and even help them prepare some. And so at least as the CFPB was hearing comments to the rule, they're hearing a lot of opinions from Minnesota, and much because of the fact that we do have, can I brag and say that we got the largest number of state in the country still, and can I get away with that, Maddie?
Yes, of course you can.
Okay. That was my comments, and I think that covers most of them.
A lot of the stuff talked about, Minnesota was the very first state action alert we're able to push out through work. And I think a lot of the success that Minnesota was alert is definitely because and the Minnesota Land Title Association did on making sure that everybody within the industry knew TAN and the importance of advocating on behalf of the industry. Even though, as Marty said, Minnesota still right now one membership within our Land Title Association, they still are advocating for all of their colleagues and members within the industry to work just because of how powerful they feel as though it came on a state and federal level. I want to really encourage with every one of the TAN members is to read every action alert and out through TAN. Wayne said at the beginning of this presentation, because we want to be very cognizant of your guys' time, but there is always really important information in each one of the communications that we push out through TAN, and on every, it's important, if possible, for you guys to take, a couple speak and pick up the phone and call your representative. I do want to hear how PB or mortgage on the federal level or some of the state action alerts that we have pushed out through TAN the last couple of months impact your business each and every single day, and therefore that you help obtain their housing. The only way that they are going to be able to know that is action on those alerts. Powerful things that you make sure that you are a part of your land title associations and that you are receiving all of their email list, because the Land Title Association pushes out a plethora of very useful information on what is going on in your guys' state. So even if having alerts go out every single day, they work of what is happening in the states and what to have on the horizon. Again, so that when they put an alert, you guys already know, and it'll make it even quicker and simpler for you guys to take action. Another thing, and Marty kind of talked about it, is participating in the lobby days. We talk about, and on the heels of our federal conference and a couple of really, really important that you take part in both your state and federal lobby days, because if nobody is going to behalf of the industry be able to advocate for the interests of your businesses and therefore the consumers. You guys are the ones that hold the power for the title associations and the industry across the country. You guys have the power and the voice, and they want to hear from you. The other thing that is really important and that we would really advocate for both your federal as well as your state legislators, join their email list. You would be amazed at the little bit of information that you are able to learn that on a weekly basis. Next slide, please. We have, talked a lot about this and how the industry has the ability to connect with this presentation today. We have really done, we hope, and it's going to probably be evolving, and so that it doesn't require a lot of time on your part, but we want to really stress that the information that you are negotiations through TAN and through your legislator is important for you to do the advocacy and the hard work that you guys do each and every day. And so with that, Wayne, would love to hear any questions that you guys might have for us.
I see the one question on the screen, and if me answering it, it says, how do you get your members over the fear and hesitation in talking to legislators or regulators? And that's a very legitimate concern. The lobby day at the Capitol, we call it the MLTA day here. One of the things that we do is make sure that we set aside time and early on in the day to speak with any, especially the newer people that haven't done it before, to sit down. We give them a folder with some of the issues and talking points in order to what to say, and just calm them down and say these are just people too, and as soon as you've done, they really are looking for input from you're a constituent. It's a totally different arena for them than if they think it's just some lobbyist up there trying to get something out of them. Take the time, they'll listen. The senator wanted to get his picture taken, a colleague and I, when we were up there, because they like to use that stuff for their benefit to put in their newsletter and stuff. So, and then what we did is that our recently we had a young woman company stand up and speak in front of about 150 people at the end, from her perspective, from somebody that's never been to the Capitol before, explain to the membership how exciting it was and fun it was, and oh, what a great day it was. Is hoping there to get more participation at our lobby day, especially amongst some of the smaller companies that might have some of that hesitation.
And I just want to reiterate some of the points that Marty said. And Wisconsin last week had their lobby day, and talking with some folks they were also hearing some hesitation from their members about, hey, I don't want to necessarily it because I don't feel as though I can, clearly articulate, the issues that are facing the industry or, with that. And so what the association did in order to overcome some of that anxiety and fear is they did a wonderful packet of talking points, and really, like Marty said, that Minnesota did, and partnered up some of their members that have done some of these office visits and that were having some concerns. Association does a really wonderful job of giving you guys the information to be able to, go into those offices and clearly say, hey, these are the issues that are impacting us, and this is just a nudge, or this is what we need you to take action on. Really kind of alleviates as much of the anxiety as possible. And again, Marty, I want to hear from you guys. They want to hear, hey, this is how it's impacting my district and my constituents and my I'm serving. So, great question.
And I want to remind everyone, if you do have a question, to type it into your chat box there on the right-hand side, and we can easily answer those for you. And while anybody might be submitting another question, I just want to take this time for April Advocacy webinar next Tuesday, April 30th at noon Eastern Time. And that one is titled, Yes, Your Lawmaker. And so we'll talk about a lot of the things that you've heard Marty and Madeleine today, that your lawmaker is extremely interested in hearing from people in how his decisions or her decisions affect your business, affect our entire industry. And so we're going to delve into that. You'll join us. If you haven't registered yet, I will include in my email wrapping this webinar up, I will include a registration link next week as well.
Marty, it looks like we have another question. The question is, it sounds like that you in your company who have joined TAN, do you worry about what they say in their legislators?
Not really. I mean, what I do is encourage their own words in writing a letter, except, I mean, like, if it's very simple. Dan, when we get it, sometimes all they have to do is ever, but for the most part, I make it very available for questions. I think on the CFPB one, a couple of different sample type languages because we knew that not all of them would have read the whole 1,008 pages or 1,100 pages or whatever it was. Some sample language to our staffs. We focus on the fact that they want to hear from us. If everybody would be up to speed, then your average, you case over 100 the nuances of the get them up to speed of it and get people to focus on whether it's a positive or negative the way things were done in the tax situation. That was very easy. I mean, everybody understands that we don't taxes imposed on our industry, and if that being heard, and if you're in a position to don't want anything to happen that's going to end up jeopardizing the recovery or the on right now, and it's even better. And I think that, like hearing it in the words of are sending it in, rather than in a bunch of legally forum. I think that that ends up more constituents, and they aren't just language to send.
Definitely. Well, we would like to keep our promise. We promised that each of these April webinars were going to be about 30 minutes, so we will not take up any more of anyone's time today, but all about the Title Action Network or creating a company campaign for the Title Action Network, please do not hesitate to contact Madeleine or myself. Our email addresses are up there on the screen for you now, and we're always here to be a resource for industry and any questions you might have for the Title Action Network. With that, we have a very big thank you to the webinar today, and I hope each of you will join us at noon for our final April Advocacy webinar.